yeah, I was just like working.
Yeah.
And I was just like, as Randy said to people, I was just like, you know what? What is it wrong with actually? What there's nothing wrong with actually having a preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for some time, right, people have been like, coming at women or guys or like attacking them because of their preference.
Mm-hmm.
Like how what's it called? The guy says, "Oh, I don't want to like they like I remember when I was watching a podcast and the guy was like, "Oh, I don't want to date women in this who what's it called? I think he was like." Where is he from? I forgot where he's from. Let's say Memphis. So that was like, oh yeah, I don't want to date any girl from Memphis and all that stuff. And people were like coming saying like, oh my gosh, why would you say that all that stuff? That's where your family's from. That's where you've been raised, born and raised, and all that stuff. Like, what's it called? Why you cut like those people help? Like, so just basically say why you hate on your own people and all that stuff. I was just like, bro, can't a preference be a preference? You may not agree with it, but it's the person's preference. They meant to marry the person that you want them to marry and all that stuff. Like sometimes, even like when guys be like, I'm not gonna lie, I used to be one of those people, right? When guys like, oh yeah, one guy would be like, oh, I don't date black people, don't date black women, don't date black women. I used to be that type of person. I'd be like, oh, I used to be those type of people like not attacked, but I'd just be looking at them like, your mom's a black woman, your sister's a black woman, you have like, aunts that black. I used to think that's so weird and just be like, I used to be the type of person that also say like you're hating on your own people. I wouldn't say it to them, that's what I'll be thinking.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, bro, that's the person's preference. That's the person's preference. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
Like I'm not begging you to date me.
Yeah.
Like it's not my business. It's none of my business if there's a certain demographic or ethnicity that you are into. Like I didn't it not affect my life.
Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like, say for example now this way you're saying, say for example somebody said, oh, their preference is not necessarily black people. I don't know how to feel about that, to be frank, because I don't know if I can just pass on that and say, yeah, that's fine, to be frank. But I do feel like everybody has their preferences, like you said, everybody have their standards, and it is fine to stick to it. I don't think people should, allow themselves be tripped into thinking that, I should hide my standards, or I should, maybe change my standards because other people are saying, oh, that is, maybe, I don't know, selfish. But you should be selfish. You're going to be the one to live with that.
That's decision. What I'm saying. At the end of the day,
you need to be honest with yourself and make the right decision for you. Because, as I've said it here before, last, we will come, we will chop, we will spray money, and we'll go home. You'll be the one to deal with it. So you need to know what works right for you. So I definitely feel that is the case. But I do feel like there are people here that they have all these preferences that they're hell-bent on. Say, for example, now, like, all this tall, dark, and handsome. I don't know why every time I say this tall, dark, and handsome, I say talk. No, tall, dark, and handsome people.
Clinton, do you know what that means, though?
What's that?
Tall, dark, and handsome.
What? Tall, dark, and handsome?
Yeah.
Well, I think it means different things for different demographics. That's just the conclusion I'm coming to. Because when I think tall, dark, and handsome, I'm thinking of myself.
Shaq. Think of Shaq?
I'm thinking of myself. You understand? I'm thinking of myself. The likes of Ozzy, the likes of Yemen, these kind of things. I'm thinking of myself, guys. I'm so much in the Love Island universe right now. That's why these are the first people that come to my mind. You get me? It's just Elba. You get me? These are my colleagues. That's what I think of tall, dark, and handsome. But now I'm aware that in different demographics, it means different things, and that's okay. It's okay, guys. But yeah, because do you know why I even thought about this thing? That, why I'm a bit skeptical about this thing you're saying about, oh yeah, that my preference is not black girls. Do you know what? I actually think it's okay, because I'm just thinking.
Look, at the end of the day, I can literally know my business, that person's preference at the end of the day, because if I can be thinking my thing, right? Say out to them, I'm just like, what effect does that even have?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, that he's likely to still stay with that preference.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Him being with that preference has no effect on me.
Yeah.
Like someone marries somebody has no effect on me.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you. I think why I'm so like hesitant to agree with that, or my preference is not black women, or sorry, black people per se, is because like I think, especially now that I'm watching Love Island, guys, a lot is running through my mind relationship wise.
Oh, speaking of Love Island.
Yeah, a lot of their experiences is this thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
People come in and their preferences are not black people.
But I don't actually blame the people. I blame the casting.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Now that and that's what you're saying is so true. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually not their fault. They're being honest with themselves, and that's fine. And I think because we have seen it so many times again, like our people being made to feel like that they're not desired, they're not people here for them. It's like that's why maybe it's hard for me to digest that. Oh yeah, people should not have their preference towards other people, that kind of thing. But like you said, it's fine. After all, my preference is Igbo girls, so that means you have to be black. So yeah,
not necessarily.
but like you have to have blackness in you, even if you're mixed. You have to be a certain level of blackness. So yeah. So the way my preference is people, it is actually fine. It's fine. But let's be honest and let's be fair, and also always be respectful.
I was because speaking, if we stay on that Love Island and what's it called, the whole people having their preference and therefore not going to certain girl out stuff. I've also seen the effect of what's it called, someone who had the preference, right, and now force themselves to come out of that preference to stick with that person. The person was on Love Island, and then when they came out, the girl was like, it was very clear that he was just not ticking a box, but he was just trying to appease the audience and stay as long as he could on the show. So what's it called? So yeah, it's the casting. I can't say, I don't even like blame the people who say that now. I don't blame people anymore that say, what's it called, this is my preference, this is what I'm sticking to, because if we try and force them out of that thing, it affects the person who they're in the relationship with.
Yeah, definitely. I think people definitely always, it's good to be honest with yourself and stick to your authentic self. So, because this person now, I won't blame anybody but him. Nobody said to lie. Like, I get, this is a show, but like and that's the thing with this show, like this Love
Island. And the guy showed his true colors after they got out that show. That's when the girl, she was explaining, showed like his true colors, him and his, when she hanging out with him and his friends. That's when she's.
No, but that's the thing with this show is that like the show is built around love, and that means the show is built around people's feelings. So all these actions that they're making towards people, it's involving people's feelings, and that is why people need to be very mindful, because yet again you're playing with people's emotions here. Like this one has just
like
now.
He's playing the game, and this girl's actually falling for him based on a character that's not based on a character, not someone's actual personality.
There's no excuse. You're a liar. That's what you are, and that's a bad character. There's nothing we can do for you.
And then the guy came out and he was like, "What?" And he came out after the girl was speaking and saying that, well, my preference is usually this, but I came out of my comfort zone. I kind of came out because like I was feeling her out to a point, all that stuff. The way he was saying it was as if he was doing her a favor. That's why I say sometimes just stick to your preference, because it's even a worse scenario if you try and.
Yeah, but I do feel like that those that their preference hasn't done anything for them, so maybe you should open yourself up. Because you see them ones that are like, even like right now, on this, I don't know, guys, you think I'm obsessed with the show,
Jesus.
I've been working around the show anyway, though. But like, see now, this Love Island All Stars, every time they come out and they're like, oh, what's your type? In my mind, I'm like, will you shut up your mouth with this type business? Because all this type business has gotten you here, and that means you're still single. So you should not have a type. You should be open-minded somewhat. Like, definitely.
You should open-minded to a point. You're not saying just stay open, like, open your, open and have no, like, criteria and all that stuff.
Definitely. But, like, all this, maybe, there's some people I do feel like they limit themselves by just sticking to maybe a specific criteria that if they open themselves up a bit more, maybe, able to experience something better. Do you get? So I do feel like there are those ones that you can open things a bit more, but don't lie to yourself. That's the key thing. Don't lie to yourself. I think I've not experienced it before, but they say that when it's right. So when you know it is right, move, and when you know it is wrong, don't move. It's as simple as that.